Well, guess what? It's Sunday morning, just after 8:30. My name's Ron. We are live. So you know what that means. Hang on, I've got to get rid of this sound. It means it is time for Sunday Morning Live with Ron. That's what it means. In case you missed it, or you're living under a rock, or you just wandered in here off of some street somewhere. It is Sunday morning. It is 8:30. I am Ron, and this is Sunday Morning Live with Ron. And obviously, I don't know how to type. Look at that title. That's ugly. We could fix it, but it's not going to be up there that long. So we'll just leave it. Welcome to whoever joined me there on Facebook. Welcome to those of you watching the replay. Welcome to anybody who joins me on Instagram. You may want to look for the IGTV replay on Instagram because, frankly, this doesn't look, you won't see all of the pictures on Instagram. So, but do come in, do enjoy it. What do we do? Sunday Morning Live with Ron. First off, we got our coffee, okay? Because it's early. But we're going to do 3 different things today. In about an hour, total time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the latest set of pictures that I have put in my gallery, talk a little bit about them, how they came to be, why I like them, why they're there. We're also going to then get a photography lesson. We're still in the middle, or we're actually pretty much at the end of post-processing. So this will be the last one on that. Our next section, we're going to do a whole section on taking sharper pictures, okay? Because the only thing you can't fix in post-processing is if your picture is not sharp, okay? If your picture's sharp, but it's not quite exposed right, or not quite framed right, or whatever, we can fix that in post-processing. But if it's not sharp, we can't fix that. We can tweak it a bit, but we can't fix it, okay? So, be that as it may, again, welcome. My name is Ron from Ron Alcott Photography. Okay. When I say the website today, that's what I mean. RonAlcottPhotography.com. There we go. So I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm going to teach you about post-processing. Today we're looking at adjusting parts of your image without adjusting others. Okay, that's kind of the last piece that we have to go with. There's Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. Good to see you. Welcome. So our lesson today is going to be on adjusting parts of your photo in post-processing without adjusting the whole thing. But first, before we get to that, we are going to go to look at our photos that we have put on the site. Okay, so let me adjust a couple things, and I believe that's going to be here. It is. All right. This first photo is not called Ron Alcott Photography. It is called Morning Vigil. And I won't leave that up for very long, but that's what it's called. We'll get rid of my bragging down here so you can see the whole picture there if you're on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, you're only seeing a fraction of the picture. I do encourage you to go to my new images gallery on the website. Okay, and that's where you can see all of these pictures. As I said, this one's called Morning Vigil. All of the pictures today were taken a few weeks ago now in Santa Cruz. Okay, mostly on the west side of Santa Cruz. And I went down there specifically to get sunrise. The wildfires sort of in and around the Santa Cruz Mountains there were under control, but I don't know if you follow what's happening in California at all, but basically the whole state and major parts of the western United States are still covered with smoke from the wildfires. There's one burning up north of the Napa Valley that's burned over 1 million acres. It's bad news, but it makes for some pretty spectacular photography. Okay, so this was taken right when I got out of my car. Actually, it probably wasn't. I'm not sure when this was. It must be when I got back to my car, because you see the sun's already up, and the sun was not up when I got there. Okay, the next picture will give you a better idea of where the sun was. But this one is called Morning Vigil. I had this nice little gull who was kind enough to sit right there and pose for me. I set my gear up and got his picture. Again, Morning Vigil. The next one is called Out of the Fog. Okay, I really like this one. There's going to be a lot of them that are very peaceful here at the beginning, Cheryl. It was a very peaceful morning. I really like this shot in particular because of the way that the foreground, the kelp that is floating on top of the water in the foreground, gives us all this texture in the foreground, and then it just fades away into the background. Okay, you got a fog bank over there on the right. The other side of the bay starting to jut in from the right as well. Okay, and then the mountains coming up. Those are the Santa Cruz Mountains. And then the smoke in the sky, making just that brilliant, brilliant orange color. And how soft it is in the distance. And how textured it is in the front with the kelp beds. And of course, the crowning achievement, the little itty bitty boat, okay, headed out to do whatever he's doing on the water all day that day. So this one is called Out of the Fog. All right. So the next one. The next one is called Smoky Morning Glow. And this is a wider shot from pretty much the same spot. But you can see that it's a much wider shot. I've trimmed it very much as a panoramic view. And again, I like that same effect. All of this kelp down front. I don't really have a place where you can see my cursor, but I like all of the texture of the kelp beds down front, and then the smoothness, and of course the land sharp in the background, and the mountains behind the smoke, and the sky turning bright as the sun is coming up. Again, smoky morning glow. You can see all of these on the website. They're all in the new releases gallery, which is right there on the home page. This one is called On Point. Okay, this is the back side, and this is the main reason that I went down there. Is this building obviously is a lighthouse, but it also is the Santa Cruz Surfing Museum, which is closed right now because of the health crisis. But it is a beautiful old brick lighthouse structure. You see that they've solarized it. Yay. It's just beautiful, beautiful. And it sits out on a point called, amazingly enough, Lighthouse Point. Welcome, welcome, whoever else has joined. They just come in and they bounce out. It's like they can't take it. It's just too beautiful for them. So, again, this one's called On Point. Looking from the back side of the Santa Cruz Surfing Museum to out at the sunset. Okay. I really enjoyed this spot. It was a beautiful place to be and watch a sunrise. One of the things I have to watch out for when I go out on photo shoots in particular is I like to enjoy being out where I am, and sometimes I forget that I'm also there to take photos. This is a slightly different take. Again, this is the side of the lighthouse on that flagpole that you saw in the last picture. This picture is called "A Star Appeared in the East." Welcome to whoever else joined on Facebook. This is "A Star Appeared in the East." I really liked how the sun was finally burning enough through the smoke so you could actually see the sun. And it was framed right there. This is the shot that I went there to take. I knew exactly where the sun was going to be coming up, right behind that lighthouse. And it did not disappoint. The crimson of the clouds in the smoke, okay, the crimson of the sun as it comes up, okay, the yellow. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm colorblind, so if you're seeing different colors, you're probably right, and I'm probably wrong. But I liked being able to frame it against this old lighthouse building here. Okay, little bit of land coming in from the side just to give it some perspective. This is a very nicely framed shot, if I do say so myself, called "A Star Appeared in the East." Oops, hit the wrong button. Don't mind the sound effects. Again, from the lighthouse. Okay. This next one is called "Hi, Diane." Welcome, welcome. This next one is called "Skies Afire." Okay. And in the next batch that I add from Santa Cruz, I'm not sure when that will be, but in the next batch that I add, there's a detail of this, another photo, just a different crop, that just focuses on the sun. But I liked this one in particular because the sun has risen a little bit. We've got the reflection off the water. We've got, again, the point coming in from the side, a little bit of surf, all this kelp texture. And if you look really, really carefully, right where the sun, and you'll probably want to go to the website to see this one, but right where the sun, that reflection widens out, there are two birds sitting right at the edge of the reflection on either side. So this one's called "Skies Afire." Again, just really shows the smoky sky, the mountains starting up on the left-hand side there. Just a beautiful morning to be out and about. I really enjoyed being there. The next one is called "Morning Stroll." You can tell it was morning because a lot of these names have morning in them. And it was morning when I was naming them. And so there's a lot of morning. I apologize for the alliterative license. Okay. This is facing the other way from that lighthouse. There is just this quiet, secluded little beach. Okay. Now, when people think about beaches, they tend to think about beautiful, clean, soft stretches of sand. And that's just not the way it works in Northern California for most of Northern California. We have a few of those, but more likely you're going to find these little patch beaches. They're tucked between a couple of outcroppings of rock. And because we have a lot of kelp forests offshore, we have a lot of kelp that washes in on the shore, like all of this stuff down in the foreground here. Okay. We have rocks that back up the beach, like you're seeing off on the right-hand side there. You see there's a lot of debris and detritus on the actual beach itself. The beaches just aren't that clean here, but it's all natural. It's all stuff that the ocean has given us. A couple of palm trees and some windswept trees in the background there. And two people just taking a morning stroll. So this one's called Morning Stroll. Again, I couldn't find a name for this beach. I'm sure the locals have a name for it, but I'm sure the tourists don't know it's here. So just a little beach next to Lighthouse Point. This one here is called What You're Looking At. This is a western gull, and he sat right there for a good long time, eyeing me suspiciously as I took his picture. Cropped this one down quite a bit just to focus on him. It's a really nice, sharp picture, and I really like how the softness, the sharpness of the rocks in the foreground with the softness of the waves behind him. Again, this one's called What You're Looking At, just because he was kind of giving me the eye. A little bit of bird trivia, in case you didn't know. Okay, I saw it may have been on this trip. I saw one of those information plaques that they put up in parks that talked about the western gulls, and people complain about the gulls because they tend to like to pester people for food because they like human food, because it's way easier to get than actually having to fish for food. But this little red spot right here, okay, that's something that the babies can see. And when mom eats food and takes it back to the nest, the babies will peck at the red spot, and that will cause the mother bird to regurgitate the food back out for the babies to eat. Yes, you're welcome for that image on a Sunday morning. Okay. This is called What You Looking At. And then the last one to look at today was called Safe Harbor. Okay. Now, obviously, I am no longer on Lighthouse Point. This is a little bit later in the morning. It was still fairly early morning, as you can see by how much light there is on the side of the boats there. Okay. And I had moved to the Santa Cruz Municipal Pier, and between the pier and and looking back at Lighthouse Point, that's the building that we were taking pictures of before, there's a couple of moorings out there. Right? And these two boats were taking advantage of the moorings. I like this picture because it sort of shows, excuse me while I go geeky about sailboats for a bit. It shows two really different styles of sailboats. Okay. The white one here is named Bodacious, which you can see if you go to the website, blow it up bigger. But the white one is named Bodacious, okay? Has a very sharp, flat bow, okay? Very vertical. Has a really tall single mast, which makes it a sloop rig, okay? Which means it'll have our great big mainsail, okay? It's got really clean lines and a really sharp back. This will be a fast boat. Okay. This would be a great boat to take out for the Thursday night yacht club races. Okay. It's also got a big wide cockpit. Okay. This area behind the house and before you fall off the back of the boat. It's called a cockpit. That's big, so it would be great for entertaining people. And really, the only thing you see on it, outside of just some weather gear on top of the mast, is there's a little barbecue right on his side. Okay? This is a part-timer. This is a vanity boat. Okay? Let's compare that with, I forgot her name. Anyway, the one with the yellow stripe. Okay? Notice how it has a much more rounded shape all around. Okay? It's got a big full-length rudder on the back end. Okay? It's got a bowsprit to give it more of the front sail. It has two masts, which makes it a catch rig because the aft mast is shorter than the foremast. Okay, so you got two mainsails. Okay, got a small cabin, but he's got what's called a bimini up over his cockpit. The cockpit is smaller. He's got solar panels, two solar panels out there. He's got his life raft inflated and stowed on deck. Okay, this is a boat that somebody lives on and probably could untie from the mooring and sail around the world right now. Okay, if I were to buy a boat and sail off across the sunset, this is the boat I would buy. Okay, don't worry, I'm not going to do that. But if I were going to, this is the one I would buy. So once more, this one is called Safe Harbor. Okay. So let's run back through those one more time, just so you can see them. All right. We have to finish that up. There. Don't mind the little explosion at the top of this. It is just a toy that they had. Okay. This one's Morning Vigil. The next one, Out of the Fog. Smoky Morning Glow. Oop, I missed On Point. Nope, there we are. On Point. Okay. The next one is A Star Appeared in the East. Skies Afire. And then it was actually daytime. We got Morning Stroll. What You Looking At. And Safe Harbor. So as I said, all of those are available right now on my website, this website here. Okay, you go there. They're in the New Images Gallery, which is the third gallery. There's a bestsellers, calendars, new images. Okay, probably actually this way. So I'm looking at myself in one monitor, but that monitor is reversed so that it comes out straight on your side. But that's a technical thing. You don't have to worry about the technical things. That's my problem, personal problem. Okay? It's a personal problem. I realize this. I'm still going to complain every once in a while about personal problems. So we've done the first thing that we promised to do. We have shown you the 10 or 9 pictures that are in my New Images Gallery. Okay. Hope you enjoyed those. If you want to see more of them, see them bigger, see them better, You can go to ronalcottphotography.com, okay, and go to the new images gallery, and they are all sitting right there. But I promised to do two other things for you today, and we've already spent a full half hour just looking at images because Ron's in a babbling mode. So we need to move right ahead. I do want to remind you that we're going to do this again in 2 weeks from today, which will be the 25th, which should be interesting because I'm actually going to be up near Yosemite that morning. And it will be a short show because where I'm staying is a long ways away from the. Maybe I won't do a lesson. Maybe I will do this from the Ahwahnee Hotel. I think that's what I'll do because that weekend is the weekend before my birthday. I go up to Yosemite on my birthday weekend most years when I can. And what I do up there is I take pictures, of course, but to treat myself for my birthday, I go to the brunch at the Ahwahnee, which I am really hoping they will be doing. The COVID restrictions are getting better here in California, so I am hopeful. Fingers crossed. That's not very good, fingers crossed. But I'm very, very hopeful that they will be doing the buffet brunch. Okay. We'll see. If not, I'll just have breakfast. It's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. And thinking right now, I will do my show live from the lobby or perhaps outside on the patio at the Ahwahnee Hotel. 8:30 Pacific time, live from Yosemite National Park on the 25th. That should be a hoot. All right. So I'll have my camera, so I'll be able to do show you some things with my camera, but I may not actually do the photography lesson that week. All right. It is the fourth quarter. Be on the lookout. I will be doing flash sales. I'll be doing promotions. I am doing a monthly giveaway. Okay. This month it is Are We There Yet? Okay. This exact 8x11, or I guess it's 11x8 print on metallic photo paper of Are We There Yet? Signed and mailed to you. All you have to do, if you're not already on the mail list, get on the mailing list by going to ronalcottphotography.com. And there you'll see a banner at the top. And in that banner is a link that says Enter to Win. Okay. You click on that link, you put in your email, you're on the mailing list. As long as you stay on the mailing list until I actually draw on November 1st, you will be entered to win. If you unsubscribe, you will not be entered to win. Okay. It's only like 3 weeks. Okay. I'm only going to send you maybe 4 emails in 3 weeks. So please don't unsubscribe the first time I send you an email. Okay? People do that all the time. I don't understand it. Okay. They sign up, they give me their email, and then they unsubscribe. I just don't get it. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Welcome to whoever joined again from Facebook. I don't see crowds gathering on Instagram. Nobody's joined on Instagram in ages. I guess Instagram users just aren't up at this hour. Be that as it may, I promised you a photography lesson, and a photography lesson is what you're going to get. All right, whether you like it or not. Okay. Today we're talking about how to edit with the gradient tools and the brush. How to edit just part of your photo. Now, this particular lesson will show features that I cannot show you on the tool that I can actually use to uh, present. Okay, my computer just doesn't have enough power to live stream and present and run Lightroom all at the same time. So I'm actually running the mobile version of Lightroom, and what this lesson talks about is only available in Lightroom Classic. Okay, but of course, if you have the Adobe Photographers package, okay, then you have all three versions of Lightroom: the mobile, the Creative Cloud, and the Classic. Okay, so this lesson shows some features that are only available in Classic, and I'll point those out as we go. Okay. So it complains. Everybody likes to complain. All right. But it talks about the fact that global adjustments, which is everything that we've been doing so far, affected the whole picture. Okay. We changed the light settings. We changed the tint. We changed the saturation. We changed the texture using the texture clarity and dehaze. Okay, but that affected everything in the whole picture. Okay, but sometimes there are things that you want to fix that you don't want to change the whole picture for. Okay, and Lightroom provides those tools, and we're going to demonstrate all of the tools. But it uses a tool called a gradient tool. There's a radial tool, and there is a brush adjustment tool. Okay, and all three of those tools work pretty much the same way. Okay, so there's a graduated filter, a radial filter, and an adjustment brush. Okay, and these are the three tools that we use to just change part of a picture. Okay, it's great as long as you have very even edges. All right. However, if you're doing landscape and nature photography, the beauty of landscape and nature is it's not geometric. Okay. It's very uneven. It's very natural. Duh. Okay. So they've added a feature in Lightroom Classic that allows you to do auto masking. Okay? And here's how it works. Okay. Here's a picture that this person's brother took in Louisiana swamps. It's a nice composition, nicely framed with the trees on each side and this beautiful sky and reflections in the water. Okay. But that sky is really pretty blah. Okay. And I've talked about the smoky skies that we're experiencing here in California now. So I've got a lot of blah skies to work with. Okay. So we'd like to alter the white balance of the sky to bring out some blues and make the image more vibrant. Okay. So the natural thing would be a graduated filter. And graduated filter is just a filter that is basically a straight line. Okay. Okay. So it's telling you how to do it. You select your graduated filter. You skew towards cooler and reduce exposure, and then you drag on the filter. Okay, and this is what you get. Okay, beautiful blue sky. The problem is you also get now blue tinted trees on either side, and that's not what we want. Okay. So if we click on a thing called show the selected mask overlay, okay, which is a separate button in Classic, or you can simply click on the selection point in CC or in mobile, and it will turn the selected areas for your mask, your filter, red so that they show up. Okay, and you can see that the red covers the trees as well as the sky. All right. Now, it used to be, and still is for mobile and CC, really the only way to do that was to use the eraser filter and brush out the mask in the places that you did not want it to be. Okay. You don't have any auto masking on CC or CC or Classic. Only on Classic. You don't have any auto mask on CC or mobile. Okay. But in Classic, they have upgraded this range mask. Okay. And now you can range mask by color or luminance or depth. Depth really is only if you have a device that measures the depth. A lot of modern phones will do this with the dual or more lenses. They can actually measure depth. Okay, but most cameras, dedicated cameras, can't do that. So it'll just be grayed out like you see here. So one way to do it is by color. Another is by luminance. Okay, so we're going to adjust by color. Okay, and if you adjust by color, it allows you to select up to 5 colors that you want to keep in. Okay? Once you select those, okay, and you can adjust the amount. Okay, you see now our trees are nice, back to a nice green. Okay. All right. This is just a zoom in on before we applied that and after we applied that. You see how it's kept the blue, but did not apply that change to the green of the tree. That's filtering by color, range masking by color. Okay. Another way to do it is range masking by luminance. Okay. Here we want to range mask just on these dark trees down here. Okay. We want to bring out that color a little bit more. So we paint on our graduated filter, okay, and you see that it is selected all of this stuff. Okay. But when we turn on a luminance mask, we can select the luminance. We can zoom in, and we want to say just adjust this. Okay, so it's only going to adjust those parts. Okay, but you can also fine tune using, they call it the brush option. In latest versions, it shows up as an eraser option, but you use it like a brush. Okay, so it's a brush eraser, not the brush adjustment tool. Okay. Okay. So what he did was he took his brush and he just painted down in this area to remove that. Okay. And you see that warmed up the green tones just in here. Okay. The lake still stays blue. All right. So graduated filters, radial filters, range masks on those two tools are marvelous, marvelous. It's a reason to use Classic. CC does not have as many features, but it's also easier to use. So if you've got one of these situations and you need to fix it, then by all means, jump into Classic, synchronize it with your CC version or your mobile version. All right. and get it, make it do what you need it to do. It's your picture. Go fix it. Okay? That's an important thing to remember through all of this. These are your pictures. All right? Nobody can tell you right or wrong except you. Okay? You can like the results or you can not like the results. And if you don't like the results, back them up. Okay? Just back out of them. That's one of the advantages of all of the versions of Lightrooms is you can undo. Okay? You can undo back to specific points. All right? Speaking of which, version here. This is version A. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, as I promised, in the last 15 minutes or so here, I'm going to show you some of the pictures that. Oh, Cheryl, I'm sorry to hear you're sick, kitty. Oh, you've got 3 sick kitties now. Oh, no. Go take care of them. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. But go take care of the kitties. It'll be on YouTube. You can catch the replay later. Okay? And if that's not Cheryl, welcome to whoever else joined on Facebook. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my right here. I'm going to show you here. Okay. So here is Lightroom Mobile on my iPad. And I'm going to actually use my stylus instead of my finger today. Okay. So we have this picture. This is Bidwell House in Chester, California, which is where I stayed when I went up to take pictures at Lassen Volcanic National Park. But as you can see from the sky, I pretty well got smoked out. Okay. But there's still a little bit of blue there, and we'd like to be able to resurrect that. Okay. So this is exactly the same situation that they showed in the lesson, where we want to use, and this is how you get to it in mobile, you want to use the gradient tool, gradient filter. Okay? So you select the gradient filter, and to use that, you just drag your filter down from the top. Okay. And the better you are at keeping it straight, the better it is at being straight. All right. Maybe not quite that much. Maybe I just want to go down to where the sunlight shows through. Okay. So if we select this filter, most lessons will tell you to change things before you add a filter. I never remember to do that. Okay. So you can always add the filter and then make your adjustments. Now I'm going to skew this way down on the blue side. Okay. And also to get rid of that smoke, I'm going to up my dehaze. Okay. As you can see, I managed to salvage a little bit of blue sky out of that. Okay. All right. Okay. So to see the change, there's what it looked like when we started. Okay. This is what we've changed so far, but you notice how the trees and the house changed colors. We don't want that. All right. So how do we get rid of that? In the mobile tool, okay, go back here to our gradient. We have to select this. Okay. I'm going to pull him down further. Okay. want to select this one. There we are. I had not actually selected. You select the one that you're working on. And I want to use my eraser tool. Okay. And tap here and make it smaller. Okay. And then I can just start erasing the parts that I don't want to have changed. Okay. See, I'm still on eraser. So I get rid of all the stuff on the house. See, the house is changing back to its more natural color. Okay. And this is where it gets tricky and where they rightfully had a complaint. Okay. When I'm working up here in the trees, I want the trees to go back to their green color. Okay. But if I'm not careful, and it probably will happen here, not too bad. This one I usually screw up. Even when I was practicing, I went too far on this one. Okay. If you're not careful with your eraser tool, you get too close to the edge, you get these halos. Okay. That doesn't look right. So let's, okay. Keep inside the lines here a little bit better now. Here. Feather that much. All right. Let's undo now. Okay. My feather. Okay. Lots of feathering. Okay. There we go. Now, if I don't come too close to the edge, still got a little halo there. Do these trees over here. All right. Now, I would take this into CC specifically to use that range mask tool that we talked about. Okay. But if we click done, you see that we've brought the trees back to being green. Our sky is blue. Life is good. All right. Here, we've got a chance to do something a little bit different. Okay. Here, we're going to go into effects and use one of the effects that we didn't talk about last time. We're actually going to create a vignette, and I'm going to overdo it to show you. Okay. By going negative, I create a black vignette. By going positive, I create a white vignette. I personally never have enjoyed black or white vignettes. I always do the black vignettes. Okay. Want to increase the feathering so it shades a little bit more. Okay. And then I can use the midpoint slider to make it smaller. Okay. We can make it more round or less round. Okay. There. Not quite that much. With vignette, personally, okay, I don't want people to look at my picture and say, oh, wow, that's a vignette. So I try to make it a little bit subtle, just to the point where it changes to give you focus on the brighter area of the picture, okay, but doesn't change so much that you go, oh, wow, that's a vignette. Personal piece of, okay. I hate this little pop top tab down here. So I'm going to use my heel tool. I'm just going to pop on it. We're going to clone in a different piece of the nails there. If I was really fussy, I could probably do the same thing with that fishing line above, but I'm not that fussy. These are just for demonstration purposes. Didn't really need to fix that. Okay. That's using the vignette. Okay. Here, we've got a round shape. We've got all this bright area off to the side over here. Okay. So you've got all this bright sky over here. You got some nice bouquet going on, all right? Good sharpness on the end of the tree trunk, some nice bouquet. But I would really like to just make the emphasis here on my log. I'd like to really get rid of any interest at all in those other areas. So to do that, we're going to use a different tool, mask filter tool, and we're going to use the circular filter. Okay, and you can adjust this all over the place. Okay, make it big enough there to cover my whole thing. Let it go off the side a bit. Okay. Now I can adjust individual points, move the whole thing around so it covers more of it and less of the sky. Something like that. Okay. But notice how right now it has us selecting the tree. Okay. So if I were to go in and take out the saturation, it would take out the saturation from the tree. Okay. If I made it purple, it would make the tree purple. All right. That's not what I want to do. Instead, I want to use this little square with the black and white on the side here to reverse my mask and say, don't affect the stuff inside the circle, affect everything outside the circle. All right. And in this case, I'm going to take the saturation way down. Okay. So they're a lot less interesting, maybe not completely black and white. Okay. I'm going to take the exposure down, thereby creating somewhat of a vignette effect, but I control exactly where it goes. I'll take some highlights out. Make the shadows deeper. Okay. Say done. So there's some tweaking to do, but the background is interesting, but it no longer drags your eye away from the end of that log. All right. So, final example, and this one I'm going to use the brush tool. Okay. Notice how along the left-hand edge here, we have lost a lot of detail in the fumes rising up out of this mud pot. We're actually in Lassen Volcanic Park now. Okay. So, in order to fix that, we're going to want our brush tool, which is right here. Okay. And we're just going to brush over the area that we want to change. Okay. So, sort of in here, all down this side. Okay. And brush it in there a little bit. Okay. Oops, no, there. I wasn't doing it. I was moving the pivot point around. All right. So there, that's kind of my area that I want to change. And again, because it's haze, I'm going to get rid of some haze. Okay, add a little bit of clarity, a little bit of texture in there. Okay. Now, one thing that did is it also brought up the fact that I have mud splatters on my lens at that point. But that's how you use the brush tools. You just brush in the areas that you want to have. And just like the other ones, it has an eraser tool that goes with it. Okay. So that's how you do it. Okay. That's how you adjust specific areas of your photo without adjusting everything. Okay. You use those 4 tools. Okay. The gradient filter, the radius filter, vignette, and brush. Okay, those are the things that allow you to create areas of your picture that are developed differently than other areas of your picture. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that. We're right at the edge of time. I like to end pretty much on time because it means I have less to cut out when I go to put it on IGTV, because I have a 1 hour limit there on IGTV. So I hope you enjoyed that. As I said, next time we will be live from Yosemite National Park, Sunday morning on the 25th of October. And we'll be talking about taking sharp pictures. All right. And we'll be back to hopefully being outside and using using my Sony a6000 live on the feed, so that you can actually see the adjustments that I make in the camera and how those change the image that we're going to get. Okay. So we will see you then. I will go out with my showing you once again my pictures, and we'll bring up the ocean sounds. Hope you have a great day. You be good to yourself. Be kind to other people. Become the person that you would like to meet. Peace out.